So this morning, as we enter into the silence together, into our time, I wanted to share with you this reading from Ashtavakra Gita, the Song of Ashtavakra. This section is called the Self, so we'll just slip into being in silence with the words of Ashtavakra. Devotee asks, "O Master, tell me how to find detachment, wisdom, and freedom." The Master says, "Child, if you wish to be free, shun the poison of the senses. Seek the nectar of truth, of love and forgiveness, simplicity and happiness. Earth, fire, and water, the wind and the sky, you are none of these. If you wish to be free, know you are the self, the witness of all these, the heart of awareness. Set your body aside. Sit in your own awareness. You will at once be happy, forever still, forever free." You have no caste, no duties to bind you, formless and free, beyond the reach of the senses, the witness of all things. So be happy. Right or wrong, joy and sorrow, these are of the mind only. They are not yours. It is not really you who acts or enjoys. You are everywhere, forever free, forever and truly free, the single witness of all things. But if you see yourself as separate, then you are bound. I do this, I do that. The big black snake of selfishness has bitten you. I do nothing. This is the nectar of faith. So drink this nectar and be happy. Know you are one, pure awareness. With the fire of this conviction, burn down the forest of ignorance. Free yourself from sorrow and be happy. Be happy, for you are joy, unbounded joy. You are awareness itself. Just as the coil of rope is mistaken for a snake, so you are mistaken for the world. If you think you are free, you are free. If you think you are bound, you are bound. For the saying is true, you are what you think. The self looks like the world, but this is just an illusion. The self is everywhere. One, still, free, perfect. The witness of all things. Awareness without action, clinging, or desire. Meditate on the self, one without two. Exalted awareness. Give up the illusion of the separate self. Give up the feeling, within or without, that you are this or that. My child, because you think you are the body, for a long time you have been bound. Know you are pure awareness. With this knowledge as your sword, cut through your chains and be happy. For you are already free, without action or flaw, luminous and bright. You are bound only by habit. Your nature is pure awareness. You are flowing in all things, and all things are flowing in you. Beware the narrowness of the mind. You are always the same, unfathomable awareness, limitless and free, serene and unperturbed. Desire only your own awareness. Whatever takes form is false. Only the formless endures. When you understand the truth of this teaching, you will not be born again. For supreme awareness is infinite, within the body and without, like a mirror and the image in a mirror. As the air is everywhere, flowing around a pot and filling it, so the Supreme God is everywhere, filling all things and flowing through them forever. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You are already free. Aware, awake, happy, compassionate. These are the words of Sri Ramana, the words of this Gita that I read this morning. The question for you is, do you feel this way? Do you feel this way about yourself? Do you feel this way in your experience, in your mind, in your heart, in your thoughts? This is not just a conceptual understanding, something we're trying to get with the mind. This is a pointing toward the truth that the nature of your being is consciousness and bliss, that you are already free, that there is nothing to gain, nothing to lose. And that your freedom has nothing to do with what is in your mind or your experience. To say, I am already free. This is to acknowledge that you are beyond mind, beyond experience. That whether this is your direct perception at this moment or not doesn't have any bearing on the truth of your nature as being, consciousness, and bliss. States of mind, emotion, experiences, both in and outside the body, are a natural part and consequence of being born into the world of body and mind. But this doesn't mean that you have to think, believe, accept, fix this body mind. All the teachings tell us you are already free. This simple recollection, remembrance, is the revelation of awakening. And this is why all of the Gitas have been written. To keep reminding us, to keep pointing us into the truth of being, consciousness, and bliss as our nature, not as something separate, but as the natural state of being, which is loving, joyful, happy, and free. This understanding, this direct perception, is always available to us. As soon as we remember that even in this, whatever this is, whether it is in the mind or the body or in the world, in our experience, whatever this is, when we remember very simply, very directly, even in this, I am aware. We touch in to this truth about the nature of being, that it is the natural state of remembrance. I am aware. I am here. And in this here now, I am free. Regardless of past, regardless of future, when you are here, you are free. As soon as the past or projections for the future, some imagined future, are let into this vast here nowness of your own being, they begin to veil the truth that you are aware, free, and happy now. So continuously notice this awareness which you are. Most of the conversations that I have with people in between satsangs are around whatever you are identifying with at that moment. This identification, all of you know clearly, creates trouble. And this identification is always around something that happened yesterday, last week, last year, or some fear about what will happen tomorrow, next week, or next year. All of this difficulty is not based in here now. And this is why the pointers are always there in scripture and in our conversations, for you to keep coming back to here now. Because if you're really willing to fully put down what happened even a moment ago, let alone what happened last year, if you're willing to stay here now, rather than conjure some imagined future tomorrow or next year, then you can fall into this already aware freedom, which is your true nature and is as natural to you as breathing and closer to you than thinking. Do you all see where I'm pointing? I know that some of you do.